guitar speed. One of mankind's ancient and seemingly best kept secrets. Since I was a teenager, I'm obsessed with finding the best exercises to improve my technique because I love the sound of those high adrenaline virtuosic sections. But when I was younger and got more serious about practicing and playing guitar, I mostly got rather unhelpful feedback like that. You just have to practice. Start by playing slow and then just play faster. Just increase your metronome speed by 1 BPM every day until you reach 300 BPM. That definitely didn't help. So in today's video I'd like to show you my 5 easy steps to extreme guitar speed, including the ultimate daily guitar speed workout in step number 4. This is how I made it work, and trust me, if I can do this, you can do it as well. Let's start shredding. So when I wanted to play faster at the beginning, I didn't start with overly complex hand synchronization exercises or full guitar solos. I mainly just wanted to play riffs like that. Lots of alternate picking strokes on the low open E string. So working on that allowed me to develop a solid picking technique first before I was involving my fretting hand some more. So my first really important tip is keeping things simple when you start out and addressing one challenge at a time. This leads me right into the second and probably most important topic of this list. I was a very impatient kid. I didn't want to play the songs perfectly at a slow tempo first, I wanted to play along to the recordings right away. In hindsight, it probably sounded something like that. That does sound pretty terrible. I'm not really playing 16th notes and I'm just pushing as hard as possible to somehow keep up with the drums. But I did learn one incredibly important thing here that a lot of very analytical players miss. I got an idea of how it actually should feel like as soon as I actually reach those fast tempos. Please think of your last practice session real quick. Do you know the feeling of hitting a certain speed barrier with your exercises, for example 130 beats per minute, and no matter how hard you try, you simply can't play the exercise or lick at tempos beyond that? Of course, I didn't realize it back then, but I actually did something relatively smart as a kid. I pushed beyond my limitations and explored faster tempos early on, with very sloppy results of course. But in retrospect, I think this was a key factor of finding my fast picking motion early on. Which leads me directly to the mind-blowing step number 3. So this was one of the big light bulb moments for me. I don't remember where I actually heard this first and I'd love to give credit, so please leave a comment if you know about the original source. So have you ever thought about playing slow as walking and playing fast as running? This analogy makes a lot of sense because those motions are completely different. And you obviously will never learn how to run if you just walk a bit faster every day. If you're like me, you already tried this classic approach of just playing exercises, licks or songs 5 beats per minute faster every day until you eventually reach your dream tempo. But at one point you just hit that annoying speed barrier and you can't play faster. That's exactly when you have to transition to the running motion. Once again, please imagine just walking a bit faster every day to train for a marathon. I'm sure that at one point it will feel extremely exhausting and awkward to just walk fast because you have to start running. Then you're suddenly much faster and it also feels like the right way of doing this. You probably won't remember it, but the first time you were running as a kid, you probably fell over because it's a completely new motion and feeling that you have to get adjusted to. At least I'm quite sure that I fell over because I was a pretty clumsy kid. But at one point you just have to leave your comfort zone to learn this new skill, and it doesn't matter if you fail at the beginning. But how do you actually practice all of that? Let's check it out in step number 4. We obviously looked at tons of really helpful exercises on the channel already, but if you're not subscribed, you probably missed the most important ones, which makes me very sad. So make sure to subscribe right now for free weekly lessons like that one. We are barely getting started on this channel, and today I'd like to invite you to become a part of this journey. So the exercise concept I would like to recommend today for building guitar speed is based on short bursts, tension and relaxation, and string pairing. This was my personal most effective speed training routine. So when I started out, I made the huge mistake of focusing on way too big scale exercises to work on my hand synchronization. And I got so much better results as soon as I started focusing on short and precise bursts like that. This way of practicing truly was a game changer for me at the beginning, because I could only focus on transitioning between two strings and on always ending with a downstroke. That way I could easily always tell if I was playing the correct amount of notes with every repetition, and my hands adjusted to that feeling over time. Aside from that, you also work with the really powerful tension and relaxation principle right here. So a quick burst of fast notes, then you rest, and then you play again. So when you practice this, it shouldn't feel like extreme tension and complete relaxation. So it's great to have a constant reference and comparison between those two states when you're practicing. You won't cramp up that easily with those added rests, and over time you will realize how small and relaxed your fast picking motion can actually be. So I think this is the perfect workout to push yourself out of that cozy comfort zone. You can download the full Speed Trainer workout video package, the tabs, guitar profiles, backing tracks and video play-alongs on patreon.com/BERNTH. With these files I made especially for you, you can finally push your speed in a really rewarding and fun way. Now before you go and practice, let's discuss today's final topic, technique. So the last thing you definitely have to keep in mind with all of this is your technique. Great and economic technique will make it much easier for you to build speed, so you definitely want to keep a close eye on both hands in your practice routine. Let's quickly check out the intro clip once again. I played 16th notes at 230 beats per minute in that one. As we discussed in the Economy of Motion episode last month, you don't need to push extremely hard to play fast. You also risk getting injuries like tendonitis if you push too hard, and it usually doesn't sound too great. Here's a quick technique checklist for you so that you get the best results out of your next practice session with the files I made for you on Patreon. Make sure to work with the tip of your pick. This will make string transitions and building speed much easier for you. I personally like to go with small jazz-free picks since they give me the most amount of control. Please try to relax your arms and hands, even when you play very fast. Please make sure to stop if you feel any pain or a weird burning sensation. You don't need your full arm muscles to play like this, and I'm not cramping up at these tempos. Keep your fretting hand fingers as close to the fretboard as possible. The bigger their movement is, the harder it will be to play fast. If they remain close to the fretboard, they don't have to move back and forth constantly, and this economy of motion really helps with building speed as well. Make sure not to lock up your wrist completely when you're playing fast, stay loose and avoid a full arm motion. I'm not only using my wrist at these fast tempos, as you can see, I'm also pushing a bit with my arm, but I never lock up my wrist and just work with a complete elbow or full arm motion. That way I would lose control over the string transitions, and it's hard to avoid unwanted noise when you're playing like that. So make sure to download all of your practice files on patreon.com/BERNTH right now to start working on this together with me. So when you work on this, please make sure to also practice with those fast play-alongs I recorded for you to exit your comfort zone. It's perfectly fine to play a bit sloppy in the beginning. Just make sure to challenge yourself and hit me up on Patreon if you have any questions about it. We have around 3,000 members in our awesome shred guitar community over there already, and this is all about becoming a better player every single week. Also, don't forget to subscribe to join our YouTube community. I will hopefully see you again in the next video. Bye bye.